On today's Glory Days show, we've been away for 2 weeks and the penalties for the Deflategate have been handed down, costing the Patriots $1 million and a few draft picks. Not to mention that quarterback Tom Brady has been suspended for 4 games.
And in the world of soccer, 14 executives from the governing body of FIFA have been indicted and arrested on bribery, racketeering, and money laundering. We'll talk to an international soccer star about it.
The Stanley Cup playoffs are down to the final 3. And after tonight, there will be just 2. Pete Torgerson will join us to talk about who will win the most coveted trophy in sports.
And did you hear about the Islanders selling vials of ice from their last home game ever at the Nassau Coliseum? Or about the soccer goalie who was hit by a flare gun during the game? You will today, as the best hour of your sports week is coming up on Glory Days right now.
InReview.com.
Hello again, everybody. Today is Saturday, May 30th, 2015, and you are watching the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco. My name is Paul Discofani, and this is my good friend Bruce Oler. And Kyle Melnick and Bonnie Schultz are behind the glass, and you are joining us on the Radio TV network, where we broadcast live from Studio C in the great state of New York. Did you miss us?
I did. I did. A little tough getting up this morning, though. I'll tell you, I guess I'm asleep a little bit later on Saturdays. You know?
Yeah, we missed the last 2 weeks, and a lot of stuff happened in the world of sports, and it was it's kind of fun to be back.
It is.
I mean, congratulations, by the way, to your brother, Peter.
I didn't see that one coming. Yeah, my brother got engaged.
Brother Pete and Tina.
Went out to Montauk.
And he popped the question.
He got down on his knee from
Did he really?
Too. Yeah. We were asking him last night. We went to the baseball game last night.
Oh, you went to that Met game last night.
Tough loss for the Mets.
They just talk real fast about the Mets and Harvey. You know what Matt Harvey's overall record in the league is?
It's probably just a little bit over 500.
It's like 17-13. Mm-hmm. I read it today, And the question is, he made one bad mistake yesterday. It was nothing, but you know what? It's very difficult to overcome a mistake with this Mets team, although they did score 3 runs.
That's right. They had 2 home runs.
But you know what? They've kind of evened out. They had that 11-game winning streak. And now they had a plunge.
Yeah.
And now they're starting to even.
The thing that bothers me, I mean, they lost to a team that's really not that good. Yeah. That's the worst part of it.
But you know what? You got to win the series. I really didn't expect them to sweep both the Phillies and the Marlins. I would have been happy with, 4 out of 6.
Well, we still can get 5 out of 6. I guess we win today and we win tomorrow.
We've got to win 2 more.
Yep.
We win 2 more games, we'll be okay.
So what's the big thing that's happened, though? I mean, like I say, a lot of things have happened, I guess.
A lot of things have happened, but the last time we were on the air, when we last left you on May 9th, the NFL and the sports world were shocked as a report from investigator Ted Wells revealed that it was, quote, more probable than not,
unquote,
that the New England Patriots equipment personnel were deliberately circumventing the NFL rules regarding the PSI levels of footballs, and that Tom Brady knew all about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I remember talking to Torgerson about that.
Right. and since then, the NFL announced that Brady was suspended for 4 games, and they'd fine the Patriots organization $1 million, and that they would forfeit their first-round draft pick in 2016, and their first round pick in 2016, and their number 4 pick in 2017. After a few days of bitching and moaning by Patriots owner Robert Kraft, including saying that the punishment far exceeded reasonable expectation, and that the report was based on circumstantial evidence, Kraft finally relented, telling his fellow owners that he does not plan to appeal the team's...
Well, he's got to fall in line. I mean, he's an owner. He's got to fall in line. I mean, and that's what he did. And that's what he did.
But we will have Pete.
I mean, but you think about, I remember, like, their first retort was that this guy, the deflator, I get his name because he was losing weight. Give me a... Now, I'm not sure that was the Patriot statement.
No, that was the Patriot statement. No, that was the Patriot. The Patriots came out with like this official statement.
I mean, who approves that kind of press release? I don't know, man.
I don't know. They just. By the way, that is one of my. It's that way.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite daily news headlines.
Yeah.
That was when it first came out. Look at the smug look on his face.
Well, yeah. Well, he got caught with his hand in a cookie jar, I think, is what happened, Yeah,
but, you know what, we'll kind of bring it up with Pete Torgerson.
I'm sure it'll just happen to work its way into the conversation.
But, so now we'll see what happens. Now, of course, Brady is still going to be appealing it. And
I think I just read this morning they announced it's going to be like June 22nd or June 23rd will be the
again,
and it's supposed to be with the commissioner, right? And I think the NFL, the Play Association, I think have asked him to recuse himself, but he refuses
that's not happening.
to do that.
That's not. Why would you?
I don't know.
You've negotiated the right to be the guy who is judge and jury.
Yep.
That's what they did in the last collective bargaining agreement. That's what you said. So, you know what? You always want to play. They always keep bringing, that's in the collective bargaining agreement. Well, you know what? This is in the collective bargaining agreement.
So get over it.
So get over it.
There you go.
What is that?
Get over it. That Eagles song.
All righty. But the big story.
Yes. Okay. On Wednesday in Zurich at the 5-star hotel where it's a FIFA or a FIFA?
I don't know.
Where the FIFA were holding their annual meetings, Swiss authorities arrested 6 top FIFA executives. The FBI handed down a 47-count, 164-page indictment against 14 international soccer officials on charges of racketeering, fraud, and money laundering. They cited $150 million in bribes and kickbacks, $150 million that is, in bribes and kickbacks and payments that came from sports marketing executives to sell lucrative World Cup rights to TV networks along with sponsorships to major corporations. They also claimed that South Africa paid over $10 million in bribes to secure hosting rights to the 2010 World Cup. There's also allegations of bid rigging and kickbacks in the awarding of the 2018 World Cup to Russia and the 2022 to Qatar.
By the way, do you know what FIFA stands for?
And I'm sure you're going to tell me.
I thought it was the Federation of International Football Association, but it's not. It's actually the
Federation of
International Fraud Artists.
I like felons. I like felons better. I don't
well,
know.
now they're felons. Well, they're not convicted felons yet.
Right.
They are just
presumed innocent.
Presumed innocent. Everyone's presumed innocent. But the investigation began back in 2011 when the IRS caught up to an American member of FIFA executive committee who hadn't paid any income taxes since 2005. And his name was Chuck Blazer. Well, his name is Chuck Blazer. Blazer was the top U.S. soccer official, and when told he was going to jail for tax evasion, began cooperating with the FBI and the IRS. They were monitoring his phone calls, his emails, his offshore accounts, and he began singing like a bird about the decades of bribes and kickbacks in international soccer. He even wore a wire during the London games in 2012, and he was implementing all of the guys that eventually, men and women.
I think it's implicating.
Implicating.
Okay, not implementing.
Well,
okay.
He might have been implementing a system.
Okay, yep.
Everybody that was indicted was on that tape. Blazer claimed that he used his position in CONCACAF, CONCACAF. I dare you Tell me what that means.
It's the Confederation of Central America. I know part
You
of
do
it.
know
I don't
that?
know the whole thing. And I think the F is Federation, I guess. I don't know.
So in 1992, he himself coordinated bribes for votes on the prospective World Cup sites and was taking kickbacks for media rights to other soccer tournaments. In all, he pled guilty back in 2013, and he gave back $1.9 million and agreed to pay even more at his sentencing hearing. Okay? But if he makes it that far, Blazer is suffering from cancer.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to laugh about it, but he's seriously ill, and he's been spending the last couple of months on a respirator. So I don't think that bird is singing too much longer.
Well, this guy found religion in the 11th hour, I think is what's happened.
Doesn't
Also, he's feeling
everybody?
guilty about all the stuff he's done over the years. Although, like you say, I think he had a turn because of him not paying income taxes.
Well, it's funny. Did you see what Putin said?
No.
Putin, the Russians get it in 2018, right?
Right.
And the Russians
Yeah, no,
were like,
I understand that was part of the investigation, but
Right.
none of these documents can be found.
Well, the Russians...
Because you know why? Because Hillary Clinton has them. I don't know.
But the Russian president is blaming the United States.
Of course.
And they're saying, what is United States getting involved for? It doesn't involve their money. It doesn't involve everything. He says, we're getting involved because we're upset that we didn't get it and that it was rigged for whoever would pay the most money. And the United States says, but we're not paying
There's probably
money.
some validity in that statement.
Well, think about Qatar.
Yeah.
They said it could be 120 degrees during the day, and we'll be talking about this with the international soccer star Phillippe Alonge in a little while. But I don't believe they could play like in indoor stadiums. I think they have to play in grass. So how are they going to play a soccer tournament in 120, 130 degree weather?
I don't know about that.
That's how you do it. It's cash. All righty. We're just getting started here on the Glory Days show. Right after a short break, we will talk to international soccer star Phillippe Alonge. We'll have him live on the phone from Zurich.
He's going to be Skyping in. He's going to be on the phone.
That's right. He'll be Skyping in. We'll talk about the FIFA story, and we'll also talk about the beginning of the Women's World Cup tournament. Later on, we'll talk about Stanley Cup playoffs for Pete Torgerson and get into a few stories in our Did You Hear About segment. Stay with us. You're watching The Glory Days Show with Bruce and Disco, only on the Radio TV network. Coming right back.
For over 60 years, Hansen Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hansen Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansenCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hansen Carpet has got you covered. The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco here on the Enravio TV on the TV network.
Okay.
TV network. On our fan is a man whose love for soccer knows no bounds. He made his Glory Day debut last summer, providing us with in-depth coverage of the men's 2014 World Cup tournament.
Do you remember who won the 2014 World Cup, by the way, my friend?
Germany.
Here we go. Germany is right.
That's right. Please and welcome back to the program on Skype, live from Zurich, international soccer star from France, Phillippe Alonge. Phillippe, how are you?
Ego.
How you been? What time is it in Zurich?
Well, they are 6 hours ahead of you guys, so...
Do the math.
Yeah, do the math.
Tell us, do the math. Figure it out yourself.
It's 4:30. It's around 4:30.
You're in the afternoon over there somewhere.
Yeah.
So what do you think about this whole fight? First of all, you are an expert on CONCACAF.
All right.
So tell us what CONCACAF stands for.
CONCACAF stands for the Confederation of North, Central, and the Caribbean Football Associations.
Alrighty. So tell us a little bit about what's going on there with FIFA. First of all, how does the president of FIFA get reelected in the midst of the most incredible scandal ever?
And how does he not? How he's not implicated?
Yeah, and how so far he hasn't been indicted.
Well, first off, it's FIFA. So I got corrected
FIFA,
there.
it's not FIFA?
No, it's FIFA.
Why FIFA?
It's a French name. I don't know.
I see.
Gotta ask the French. But no. Well, it's if you think, because like you guys are Americans, of course. But in America, we have the bicameral Congress, where senators get a vote, and then the House of Representatives based on your population. Mm-hmm. Well, FIFA is not that way. FIFA, every member association has one vote. So giants like United States, England, Italy, Russia have one vote, and a small country in the Caribbean like Antigua has one vote. So all you have to do is pay off those little nations, and you have their votes.
But isn't that kind of
Sounds like Survivor, doesn't it?
Yeah. But I mean, isn't that kind of like just the way politics works in general?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's true.
Politicians get donations from people, and that they donate to their things, and I know it's all kind of under the table, but you know what? If you make a big donation to a politician, if he gets elected, you're going to be on his agenda.
Speaking of which, now, of course, I only read the New York Post.
Yes.
But when this thing broke, they say the Clintons got a big score from this group. So there was $100,000. There was a $100,000 donation from these guys to the Clinton Foundation.
You know what, Phil, let me ask you though. I mean, does it really? I mean, granted, this does not involve the football itself. This does not involve games.
This is the business side of it.
This is just the business side of it. Who gets awarded the tournament? Who gets the rights?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's all this is.
The thing I wonder about, a lot of these guys aren't Americans. So,
Why do we care?
So how do they, well, that's what the Russians are saying too, right? We don't have any jurisdiction over these guys, do we really?
No, I don't think so.
Well, no, we do, because the like people have asked, why is the FBI getting involved? But it's because the money that's being moved around is going through U.S. banks, and it's being used in U.S. currency. So
that's how they can indict them.
That's why we have jurisdiction over it.
I see.
And money laundering.
It's not just us though. Now Australia, Switzerland, Colombia, Costa Rica are starting their own investigations as well. So this could become bigger. The people that were arrested in Zurich this past week are all either CONCACAF or CONMEBOL, which is the South American Federation. These are all, you're talking about ex-CONCACAF presidents, ex-CONMEBOL presidents. You talk about Venezuelan presidents who are being arrested. So that's just our side.
For all these people that are being arrested, and they're going to be extradited to the United States, and they're going to stand trial, how did they miss you?
Well,
how did you not get
I'm
involved?
I'm a player, this is.
I mean, obviously, look, you've got bling. They gave you a hat. They gave you a hat. You've got a, I can see you wearing gold around your neck and stuff. I mean,
You know, I was looking at all these indictments. Everybody got charged with at least these 3 crimes: racketeering, wire fraud, and money laundering. It kind of reminds me of a Seinfeld episode. Do you know how to money launder?
No.
I mean, I don't even know what money laundering is. What is that? You know?
Do you just kind of wash it and make it
I
clean?
guess. I don't know. But, and then there were 2 that were uncommon. One guy also got a naturalization fraud charge.
Really?
And then this guy, Blazer, I think. Here we go. Failure to report foreign bank accounts.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, if you're an American, you're supposed to report.
Of course. I'm sure all the corporations do that too, you know.
The other thing is, the reason why he got indicted, really more than anything else, is for the
didn't pay
same
his
reason,
taxes.
like, Al Capone killed hundreds of people, but they could never prove it. So how did he go to jail? Tax evasion.
That's right.
That's the only way they could get you, is on tax evasion.
Well, his thing came out 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, with his friend Jack Warner, who was the CONCACAF president at the time, and he's I want to say he's from the Bahamas, so his friend got indicted from that, and then Jack Warner stepped down. So then, and now we have Chuck Blazer, which was the American face of the scandal, I guess.
All right, enough about scandals.
All right.
Let's talk a little bit about, we got about, how much time we got left? About 3 minutes?
About
3 minutes.
All right.
So
3 minutes.
let's talk real fast about the Women's World Cup, which starts up in Canada on June 6th. They've added a couple of extra teams this year.
Yeah, it's 24 teams this year.
24 teams instead of the normal 16. So I think, what does that mean? There'll be an additional knockout round or something?
There's just there's more groups this year.
Okay. So the United States, they were in the finals last World Cup, which was 2011, and they won. They lost the World Cup on penalty kicks to Japan. Okay. Now, didn't they win the World Cup, their last World Cup in 1999, on penalty kicks?
Well,
Wasn't
they
that
won the
Brandy
first ever Women's
Chastain?
World Cup in '91.
Right. Well, they won the World Cup in '91, the first one. That was the first Women's World Cup.
Yeah.
Then again in '99 they won.
Yeah.
But that was the one that they won on a penalty kick.
Remember, it is for Brandy Chastain's ripping off of her
Bra, her trainer bra.
Well, no, she didn't rip her
That's
bra
right.
off. She
No.
took her
She
shirt
ripped
off.
the shirt off.
Yeah.
Like the Hulk.
What she did for the world of sports training bras is unbelievable. It's still on most things like YouPorn and stuff.
Really? Is it?
No, I don't even know what YouPorn is.
Oh, of course. None of us do.
But anyway, they are in Group D, which is it also has Australia in it. Okay, and they've been to the quarterfinals twice, the last 2 times. Sweden, they have like qualifier games. Sweden won all 10 qualifiers with a plus 31 goal differential. That's a lot.
It sounds like a juggernaut.
Right?
Yeah. Well.
But they won the gold medal, the Olympic gold medal in 2008 and the last Olympic in 2012. And they're also with Nigeria. Now, Nigeria, they've never actually, they've only gotten out of the group round once. But who do you think is the strongest team in this tournament?
Our group?
Well, no, just from the whole thing in general.
Well, the thing you got to remember now, we talk about Women's World Cup rather than last year when we talk about the Men's World Cup. All the things you know about teams, just throw it out the window.
Yeah.
This is the women now. So the powerhouses for the past 2 decades now have been USA, Germany, Sweden, and Brazil. Brazil's always kicking around somewhere, and China. So
right.
So if you place bets on any team besides ones I just named, then you're going to lose your money.
Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 of the 24 teams are making their World Cup debut.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what about I know that Germany won the World Cup in the men's.
Yeah.
But what the women have done in the qualifying tournament is almost unprecedented.
Oh yeah.
They have, not only did they win all 10 games, but they had a 58 goal differential in 10 games. A 58 goal differential.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
That's impressive. That's a juggernaut too.
Yeah. Well, you see that too with the men's when like if Germany plays like San Marino, they wipe the floor with them So.
And this is in Canada, huh?
Yeah, this is in Canada. So how does Germany get into a group with the Ivory Coast and Thailand, who have never been in a World Cup, and Norway, who
I would say there should be an investigation into this. I think there's money under the table. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Well, if you want to hear about controversy, there's controversy because no men's World Cup has been played on field turf. Bruce, I think you mentioned that in like the intro when I was listening in.
Yeah.
And no men has played on turf. In the '94 World Cup in America, sod was put down on like Giant Stadium and every stadium that usually has turf.
Because they have to play on grass, right?
Yeah.
They can't play.
It's not written that they have to. It's just that it looks nicer. And apparently, Abby Wambach, which is she's on the women's team, she came out last week or 2 weeks ago saying that FIFA turned down all these companies, all these grass companies, who wanted to put down grass for free. And FIFA said, no, we're not doing that. Because
you got to pay us.
Yeah,
You're not can't do it for free. You got to pay us.
Not only we want you to put the grass down for free, but we want you to pay us.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's the way it works.
Like she came out and said, no, she pretty much implied that like FIFA said, no, you're women. Who cares?
Oh, really?
So yeah.
That's not good.
Well, do you think? Obviously, it's not going to garner as much interest as the men's tournament. But the men's tournament does well only in this country, only every 4 years. Okay.
Yeah.
There is a core group of people that are soccer fans, but we've discussed this before about how it just never caught on in this country. Does women's soccer? Do Europeans have obviously not the same fever as they do, but do they care about women's soccer in other countries?
Well, I'm going to say, if you remember, of course, my generation of men remember the movie Bend It Like Beckham.
Yes.
Featured it was one of Keira Knightley's first movies. And in that movie, it's two English girls or British girls who dream about coming to America so they could play women's soccer. Up until very recently, this decade, England didn't have a set league for women. It was America took charge pretty much of women's soccer for the world.
Do you think that's because we were good at it?
Well, yeah. Well, if you're a girl growing up now, you'll probably be a fool to not play soccer. Like you have a career as a soccer player, if you're in America as a female. So.
All right, Phil, we're running out of time.
All right. So
Give me a quick. Wait, before you go, who's going to win this?
The USA. We got this. But,
all right.
Yes.
USA.
So, Women's World Cup. In July, we have the CONCACAF Gold Cup, which is it's North America's.
Oh, okay.
And then, of course, on June 17th, you have the Cosmos playing NYCFC at Hofstra.
All right. Just to end this, can you take that hat off for a minute?
Just for a second, we want to say.
Whoa.
There you go.
Put the hat back on.
Put the hat.
No gel hair.
Okay.
All right, Phil, thanks.
All right.
Yep. Okay.
All right, that is our good pal, international soccer star Phillippe Alonge.
Here we go.
And he was not in Zurich, just to put everything on the table. We're going to take another break. When we get back, we'll switch gears. We'll talk about hockey, and we'll have our good pal Pete Torgerson on the phone. And if we have enough time, we'll get to our Did You Hear About segment. Other than that, stick around. You're watching The Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco, only on the Radio TV Network. We are coming right back.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com.
Transmission of lice occurs from being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Like catching a cold or a flu.
You have guaranteed peace of mind in every bottle of Got Lice because all of our products are completely natural,
And organic.
but strong enough to cover all your lice removal needs while being safe and effective. Our professional technicians are specially trained with our exclusive proven technique to successfully comb out head lice. We come right to your home at your convenience.
Whenever you want us.
We bring everything needed to perform a successful and complete comb out while eliminating your head lice, and we leave you with our exclusive complimentary products to use for the next 10 days following our treatment.
For free.
Our technicians also check all family members who have been exposed to lice. Please visit us on our website today at gotlice.co or feel free to call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 646-257-0121.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit hansoncarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered.
Hey, this is Chris Jake, and if InRavio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco here on the InRavio TV network. On our hotline is a man who still thinks the Patriots are innocent, but his focus this week is definitely on the Stanley Cup playoffs. Please welcome Pete Torgerson! Exclamation point.
With an exclamation
Okay.
point. Petey, how are you?
Great, guys. What's happening?
All right.
Alrighty. So did you enjoy our soccer talk?
Absolutely. And the big question today is, when those guys got indicted, do they roll around on the ground like they got shot? Oh, I need a yellow card. I need a red card.
They got. I think they all got red cards.
they
though.
did. They did.
You know what? It's just it's a strange thing to see. I mean, that's it's kind of like, a whole bunch of people like being accused of doing something that they said they didn't do.
Yeah.
Kind of like, I don't know, like, messing around with the deflation of footballs and stuff like that. By the way, Pete, I just wanted to tell you that I was watching the last show that we did, and, when we had the discussion about Deflategate, it was before the penalties were handed out, and we were discussing what the penalties were.
Right.
I was one of the people that said he's definitely getting a 4-game suspension, and I believe your exact words were, "You are out of your mind."
If we need to, we can go back to the videotape on that, by the way.
Yeah.
No, but you know what? It made sense to me that they would give him 4, because if they give him 4, they knew that. I'm not saying that they knew that, but I think that they felt that if they gave him 4, he would maybe plead it down to 2.
Well, again, he's got the appeal coming up, so I mean, this story will unfold, I guess, in the month of June towards the end.
Yeah, he should have just beat up his wife. He would have made them better off.
Speaking of towards the end of June, I guess that's when the Stanley Cup playoffs are going to be over this year, right?
Oh,
I think
my
it's the
goodness.
18th or something like that. I think if it goes 7 games.
We were talking about that last night, and if you are a regular viewer of the show, and you should be, you know that Pete Torgerson is the one who said right from the beginning, Tampa Bay.
Yep.
All the way Tampa Bay.
And I have my notes from here, and I predicted, actually, I guess I figured Washington was going to beat the Rangers, so I was wrong with that. But I said Tampa Bay against Montreal, and then I said Tampa Bay was going to beat Washington.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have Chicago going to the finals on the other side here. And we'll find that out tonight.
Although I have to
They
say,
have the heart of a champion there, Pete, don't you think?
Yeah, they got it going on. Stamkos is such a great leader. They got the defensemen. They got the young guys chipping in. They're just a nice team. And then the key to the whole thing is Bishop. He's playing.
Yeah.
He had one rough game, but you come in Madison Square Garden and throw 2 shutouts. Come on.
You know that the Rangers scored 4 goals in their 4 home games.
Yeah.
And they scored 17 goals in the 3 away games.
Yeah. I think we'll see some moves in the offseason. I mean, Rick Nash was kind of non-existent in most of the playoffs. Sam Louis was too.
St. Louis done.
I tell you, the thing I can't understand about the Rangers is Chris Kreider can be so dominating sometimes. You know, on one shift and the next shift, he's doing some of the stupidest things you ever saw. I don't get that guy. I really don't.
Yeah, he's got. He needs a checkup from the neck up.
He does. He does, man. So, what do you think about Anaheim against Chicago tonight, there, Pete?
In Anaheim, I'm going with Chicago.
Yep. I think they really have the heart of a champion. That team. I mean,
Yeah, they're
you
so
know, and I was
talented.
thinking about, I guess, early on, didn't they have a big goaltending problem? Wasn't Crawford terrible? They
Yeah,
told him
Crawford got benched in the first.
Was
in
that
the
against
first
Nashville?
series.
Was that
Yeah,
Nashville,
the
I
first
think it
series.
was? Yeah.
Who's their backup, Pete?
Diamond.
Right. He played 3 of the games in that series.
Yeah, and he played great. I was trying to stir the pot, saying, you know, the Blackhawks have a goaltending problem, but they got that squared away. Their defense is so good. Then, you know, Patrick Kane, Taves, Sharp, those guys. And then
I
their
mean,
third
Kane
line,
has-
their third and fourth line guys.
Kane has
they're
10
scoring.
goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marion
he's
Hossa is playing like a man on a mission too, don't you think?
Who's that?
Marion Hossa.
Oh, jeez. He's my number one hated player in the league since all my other number one. I can't stand that guy, but he's playing
And
well.
you know what? They're doing it without a power play.
Yeah.
They have the least amount of power play goals in the playoffs.
You know, I think in the playoffs, power plays they're almost overrated. The year the Bruins won, what did they have? One power.
Yeah,
play goal?
they had no power play goals going into the finals that year.
Need to have a good PK though.
Right, that's it.
Yeah. Well, in the playoffs, guys are laying down in front of shots. They're getting after it even more so than they do during the regular.
Well, look, last night, Tampa blocked 20 some odd shots last night.
Yeah.
The Rangers only got 22 shots at Bishop. You know, really Lundqvist last night. Some of the saves he made last night were unbelievable last
And that
night.
was a bad goal though, that first goal.
Was a bad goal. The first goal was a bad goal. And you know what? You can only go to the well so often. You know, you cannot. The Islanders, as an Islander fan, I can tell you, you can't just live on your history. You know, I mean,
And,
for so many years,
that's-
the Islanders were the best team in overtime.
Yeah.
Okay. And 2 years ago, overtime killed us. You know, this year against Washington, overtime killed us. You know, so you can't just say, "Oh, well, the Rangers are just great in you know in game sevens," and Lundqvist. You know, it doesn't matter. It all goes out the window when
Let
you
me
play
talk
games. Sorry.
That goal, it wasn't a. I don't think that was a soft goal because he's blocking all those shots. The soft, you know, not a hard shot.
Yeah.
In a perfect position like that, Killorn, we just.
Yeah, I didn't see the goal. I guess I just heard it went 5-hole, but I think there was a lot of traffic in front of him,
Yeah,
and
it
I
kinda
don't think
just-
he saw it at all.
it kinda just
Yeah,
slid through.
it's funny. Killorn and Dominic Moore, the two Harvard guys, they must have 12 backhand shots a game at the net. So it must be a skill they work on over there.
Yeah.
As much as I'm not a Ranger fan, obviously, I was really rooting for them to win this game because I thought Rangers and Chicago would be a great Stanley Cup final.
Yeah.
Two original six teams.
Bateman's open for Tampa, Anaheim. There goes the ratings. Oh my God.
Yeah, well, right now they're definitely hoping that Chicago wins because they don't want Anaheim. Tampa Bay is not exactly exciting anybody.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Right.
You know, I mean, how do they, you know, so now what happens, you know, Tampa, it's not that they have a problem getting fans coming to Tampa, but it's not exactly a hotbed of hockey. But they did win a Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
They're a good organization. I mean, if you just look at them historically. I mean, they make the playoffs. Like you say, they won the cup before.
Yeah. They get good crowds there.
Yeah.
You know, I think their building holds like 17. You know, they get 15, 16, and most nights it's a sellout. You know, but maybe they're not all there.
You know what I couldn't believe? I read earlier this week that basically they have certain seats within the arena where you cannot wear the opposing team's jersey. You know?
No kid.
I mean, they let you wear the hat in some places, but there are some places you can't even go. You know, kind of like that Seinfeld episode where Elaine was wearing the Orioles hat.
The Orioles hat,
Orioles
right
hat,
at the
the
Yankee
owner's
game.
seat.
Take that hat off.
In the owners,
you know?
in the owners' seats,
Yeah.
right? But you know what? Now Tampa Bay has the most power play goals of any team during the playoffs. All right. Do you know who their assistant coach is that's in charge of the power play?
I'm not 100% sure.
Rick Bowness.
Rick Bowness, yeah.
the former Islander coach.
Right.
Former Bruins coach.
Was he at Rubens College?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And one of these guys, one of the coaches on Tampa Bay has a formerly coached with Vigneault, you know, too.
Well, the head coach wasn't the head coach his assistant in Vancouver?
The head coach, Cooper's.
Yeah,
He's
okay.
he's a lacrosse guy from Long Island.
Is he really?
Seriously, he never played hockey.
And he's the head coach?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a big lacrosse player, and then he got into hockey.
I can't say I knew
The
that.
minors and worked his way up. Yeah.
I did not know that.
I did not know that.
There you go. Here's my fun fact for the day.
Okay, so we all are hoping that Chicago wins tonight. If Chicago wins tonight and it's Tampa Bay and Chicago, who wins the Stanley Cup?
Same one I told you in March. Tampa. This is their year.
So you're thinking Tampa no matter who comes out of the West?
How can I go back now? I'm this far along.
That's true. Well, that's true, Pete. That's true, Pete.
I had
I tell
Minnesota and St. Louis.
I'm going to go with
Minnesota and St.
Chicago,
Louis
though.
were my teams.
Yeah, I think if Chicago wins, I'm going to take Chicago. If Anaheim wins, I'm going to be rooting for Tampa Bay. Now that I know that the coach is a Long Island guy,
Yeah.
we should try and get him on the phone.
Tough to root against them, yeah.
We should try and get him on the phone. That would
Try to
be
think
cool.
of some dirt on him, you know. And then we'll call him, okay, you know, see if he wants to be on our show, you know.
Yeah,
Well, you know
sure
what? This is the first time in, I think, let me see, I have it written down. This is only the second time in the expansion era
Yeah.
that that both conference finals
Went
have
7
gone
games.
to a 7-game.
Yep.
The other time was in 2000 with the Devils and the
I tell you,
Devils and
the thing that I wanted to look up
Dallas
before
Stars.
the show and I didn't is, you know, we talk about the Rangers and they had a great, there's no doubt they had a great year. I mean, they won the President's Trophy. How many times does a team that win the President's Trophy win the Stanley Cup? And I think
7.
it's not all that often.
No.
7.
7.
Okay,
Yeah.
I know the Islanders did it once, but I mean,
Yeah.
you know, that means you won end to end, baby. You know, and that is a tough thing to do. It really is.
You know, we were talking about how grueling this, you know, that it's the most grueling of all the sports. Now, I guess the NBA is the same thing. It's 4-game series.
Yeah.
To win
Yeah,
the
but
NBA championship.
The NBA has 8 days off between games.
Yeah, that is true. You know, I mean, but this, you know, you get to the Stanley Cup Finals, you win the Stanley Cup, you deserve it.
That's exactly
man.
right. You're the
work
last
for
man
it.
standing, man,
Well,
is what you are.
I remember what, I don't know if it was you that brought up what Edmonton had said after they lost the Stanley Cup Final to the Islanders.
Yeah.
That they lost the Stanley Cup Final to the Islanders, and as they were leaving their dressing room, it was at the Coliseum because the Islanders had swept them.
Mm-hmm.
And when they were leaving, they walked past the Islander dressing room, and they expected to see celebrating, whatever. He says, and they were just exhausted. He says they were just dead. They were like, you know, yeah, great. But they said that's what made them realize what it took to win the Stanley Cup. And
Yeah.
Rest is history for them. They did.
you know,
Hey, check out the videos on NHL.com. They have the referees mic'd up.
Okay, oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. Dominic Moore goes over to Chris Rooney the other day, and he says, Chris, keep an eye out on faceoffs. They're coming in and they're kicking my legs out. I know there's a lot of traffic, but it's a set play. They practice it. So Rooney said to him, oh, yeah? What guys do they use in practice to kick their legs out? Moore looked at him like, oh, my God, I got to go. See you later.
all righty, man.
Thanks for being on the show here, Pete. Let's go
All right,
Chicago
guys, good job.
tonight.
Let's root for Chicago.
All right.
All right, Pete,
I'll talk to you
thanks.
this week. Yeah.
Thanks, you too, man. That's our good pal, Pete Torgerson.
Yeah.
You know. We'll take another break here in Glory Days, and when we get back, we'll bring you a couple stories in our Did You Hear About segment, including the tale of a Russian soccer goaltender who was hit in the head by a flare gun during a game. Stay with us. You watch the Glory Days show with Bruce Disco, only on the Radio TV Network. We're coming right back.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit hansoncarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered.
Hey, this is Chris Jake, and if InRavio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco here on the InRavio TV network. If you're a sports fan, you know you can always turn to ESPN or SNY to get the latest scores and highlights. One thing we pride ourselves on here at the Glory Day Show is providing you with the information you may not have heard anywhere else.
A show about nothing.
A show about nothing. But we call this segment, Did You Hear About?
Oh boy, there we go. Right on cue. Okay. So the Island. Oops.
Wait for it.
All right.
Now,
Here we go. Islanders are selling. Don't look up. Okay. Islanders are selling 1/2 ounce tubes of melted ice from the final game played at the Nassau Coliseum on April 25th. The cost is $20 per vial, plus shipping and handling, including a certificate of authenticity and a limit of 5 tubes per order. Other teams have done the same thing. Most recently, the Chicago Blackhawks, after they won the Stanley Cup in 2013. Even baseball teams have been selling dirt, like the Yankees in 2008, selling capsules of dirt from the Yankee Stadium infield for $9.99, and fragments of the black wall behind the center field for $109.99. But if you go to the Islanders website right now, you can make a purchase. Oh, I guess you can't. You're too late.
Why? Because if you go to the website, you'll see
tell you,
this.
I cannot believe that anybody would be so dumb as to do something like that, man. You know,
it's
well, don't they say a sucker is born every minute?
It's
don't
just
they?
ridiculous that anyone would even think that that would be something good to have, except us. Now, this does not come with a certificate of authenticity.
Uh-huh.
It does not come with anything that says this is real, but I can tell you that this is real. We have a friend who is not allowed to be named and then what I want to show you is this. He got this little sample for us.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're going to see maybe if you could see this. And what it does is in there floating.
It looks kind of like a lemon peel.
It looks like a lemon peel, but it's not. What it is it's actually a piece of the bottom of the boards.
Okay.
Any hockey arena, there's a board on the bottom. It's a plastic board that the puck bounces off. It's yellow. And I've got a slice of the yellow board in it. So I own. Now, here's my question. What do I do with this? Do I freeze it?
No. I would make Kool-Aid out of it.
Well, I don't
the
know.
Kool-Aid, man.
There seems to be a lot more things floating in it. I don't know if I would drink this.
Maybe we should boil it first. I don't know.
But you know what I do have?
What's that?
What I do have is I do have sand. I do have dirt, from Shea Stadium.
Right.
After the Mets won the qualified for clinched in 1986, me and Sal the Catman got on the field, and I brought a little thing with me, and I did it. I have it. Yeah, that's what you see if you go to the
Coliseum Ice Belt. Okay, there we go.
It's all gone.
All right.
Thank you for your interest, but due to overwhelming response, I wonder. I was trying to find out exactly how many they sold.
That's a good question.
But anyway, all right. I got time for one more story?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Back in March, Russia's match at Montenegro was suspended shortly after kickoff after Russian goalkeeper Igor Akinfeev appeared to be struck by a flare fired from the stands. Okay? And now, in case you're wondering, a flare gun, it shoots a huge metal shotgun shell that spews fire that's hot enough to burn underwater.
Yeah.
Okay? And this guy was hit in the head with one. The European Championship qualifier was stopped at about a minute after it began as Akinfeev received treatment and was carted off the pitch on a stretcher. He was completely unconscious.
Wow.
But the game continued after a 33-minute delay. At that point, the stadium announcer warned the spectators that the game would be abandoned. We use soccer terms here. If there were any more trouble.
Okay.
At halftime, Montenegro and Russian supporters clashed, forcing riot police to move in to separate them. The referee then discussed with the soccer officials and representatives from both teams about suspending the match because of the intensity of the fighting. And it delayed the start of the second half by 18 minutes, but they decided to play on.
The game must go on.
Except midway through the second half, the players were scuffling near the end touchline. A missile was hurled from the terraces. By the way, they called the terraces their upper deck. And it appeared to have hit another Russian player.
From the cheap seats.
From the cheap seats. I just like to know how you get into events with flare guns and missiles.
Good question.
All right, with the score tied 0-0, German referee Dens Antigin ordered the players to leave the pitch in Podgorica after the incident. It was like the third incident. They had another incident in the Euro 2016 quarterfinal tournaments. It was another one with a brawl. Serbia and Albania. And the Serbia fans stormed the pitch, attacking the Albanian players. You know why? Because a remote-controlled drone was flying the Greater Albania flag over the terrace.
We've talked about having a drone on this show.
We should. Don't we have one? We have a drone. We
You're
should have a drone for like the weekly show, and as it drives by, we shoot it down. All right. Anyway, so you know what? Soccer is out of control.
All I can think of with that flare gun is, there's that line in the Deep Purple song, some stupid with a flare gun burned the place to
there you go,
smoke
right?
on the water, and that's what it was. Somebody shot a flare gun into the roof of the casino.
All righty, we are almost out of time here.
All right.
We'll take a break, and we will wrap up for the weekend.
Sounds good to me. All right. Stay with us. You're watching the Glory Days show with Bruce and Disco, only on the InRadio TV network. Coming right back.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce Disco here on the InRavio TV network. So what did we learn today?
Learned that there's a sucker born every minute, you know.
And you know,
Yeah.
we are the suckers. But at least we didn't pay for ours.
Well, that's true. That's true.
We learned that something that nobody ever thought before, that soccer is corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's like saying, oh my God, politicians are taking bribes?
And Pfeiffer, of course, made a contribution to the Clinton Foundation. I think that's interesting news. You know?
Yeah, the Federation of International Fraud Artists.
And felons.
And felons. Oh boy. Well, you know, we learned a little bit about, although we still don't know what money laundering is.
That's right. That's right.
You know what? That's your
We're
homework
going to go on a
assignment.
field trip about that, okay? You know.
Your homework assignment, Glory Days fans, is to write to us on our Facebook page and tell us what money laundering is. Or maybe we should ask people just to say what money laundering means to me. Now, my wife has always told me that money laundering means that she gets to keep any money she finds in the laundry.
I say,
Everything. No matter what she finds is hers.
I don't think that's what they're talking about here. I don't think. You know.
All righty.
All right.
Well, what are you going to do? All right. Thanks to our producers, Kyle Melnick and Bonnie Schultz, for all the hard work and making us look so good out here.
Yes.
You know? Thanks to our guest today, international soccer star Phillippe Alonge, and our good buddy Pete Torgerson for help us out. Where would we be on this show without Pete Torgerson?
I don't know, you know.
He's the third Beatle.
He is. He is.
All right. Thanks again, Chuck and Bonnie, for putting up with this nonsense week after week. And, of course, thanks to you, our loyal viewers. Don't forget, you can check out the Glory Days On Demand page on www.inradio.com to watch any of our past shows or any of the other great shows on the InRavio TV, radio.com TV network. That's about it.
Have a great weekend.
Yeah, stay safe, everybody. We will see you next time out.
All right.
Go Chicago.
Over and out.
InRavio.com. InRavio.com.